Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Chris here from Esports News, bringing you guys a brand new video. Today, I'm doing something a little bit different than what I normally do. I don't normally do event recaps anymore. I used to in the past, back in MW, I believe, in Cold War, but I've decided to bring them back. So here we are going over week one of Major Two's qualifiers. So as you guys can see, wow, this is my first time checking pick'ems. I actually ended up getting all the matches right. Some of them I did go perfect, not many, but looks like just one maybe. So yeah, so let's dissect the takeaways from this weekend. So the Toronto Ultra, they 3-0'd the Miami Heretics. I'm sorry, they 3-1 the Miami Heretics. I thought they would 3-0 them, but Miami, they looked good. They came to play, and yeah, they looked pretty solid on the opening hard point. And then what did they take? The control, or was it the hard point? I think it was the hard point. But anyways, the Ultra looked really good this weekend. In Miami, they definitely had some encouraging signs, but they played number one and two in the standings back to back. So for the number four team, that's just a doozy. What are you gonna do? In our next team, we have the New York Subliners taking on the London Royal Ravens. Old habits die hard, right? The Carolina Royal Ravens. Of course, the Royal Ravens are a new look team, with of course TJ and Fellow coming into the roster. So they look pretty good, honestly. They took our defending CDL 2023 world champions and our reigning 2023 MVP Hydra to a game five. Of course, New York looked really good in the game five, admittedly, but the rest of the series was very close. I mean, the Carolina Royal Ravens came out really hot in maps one and two, won both of them, and then New York reverse swept. But yeah, it was a great showing from the Royal Ravens, and they have definitely a lot to look forward to going forward. In our first matchup of Saturday, we of course had the Royal Ravens. They did a little bit of double duty, if you will. Last match Friday, first match on Saturday. They of course lost to the Boston Breach in a 3-1 fashion. This was kind of surprising. I didn't think the Breach would close it out on map four, but the map four, from what I can recall, was pretty close. But ASIM just turned up on the back half, excuse me, of that map four. So great showing from him. And this was a W debut. He got revenge on his team from last year. So the theme of ASIM like getting revenge wins, he's undefeated against teams that have dropped him. Like when he goes to a new team, plays them the next year, he always wins. So I was just happy to see that storyline persist. And happy to see ASIM back in the league. So yeah, great showing for them. And the Ravens, maybe they'll pick up some points against some lesser teams next week. But yeah, looking at our next matchup of Saturday, we of course had Atlanta Faze taking on the Miami Heretics. I thought it would be a 3-1 originally, but then I changed my mind to a 3-0 after seeing the Ultra kind of mop the floor with Heretics on Friday. I'm sorry, they got 3-0 on Friday. I said 3-1. So yeah, Faze lost sub base hard point, the opening hard point, and then they won the next three. So not really a lot to take away there. Just if your Faze, stop playing sub base. And if you're Heretics, you play one and two, so not really a lot to take away there. Yeah, in our next series, we had the Seattle Surge playing the New York Subliners. And with this Brezzy for Illy trade that they made, we still haven't got an announcement on why Illy was benched, but I think we all have a pretty good idea of why. It's just kind of interesting seeing the Surge team picking up Brezzy and already having a Booza. It just seemed like there were a lot of misfires. Maybe with some more maybe with some more time, this team will gel a little bit better. But as of right now, there's just a lot of crucial misfires that are making me kind of like, with this team. In our first matchup of Sunday, we of course had the Vegas Legion taking on LA Guerillas. I actually switched on Saturday night, and I changed my mind to 3-2 Vegas Legion because I was thinking about it. I was like, Geo's coming in. I was listening to the flank, and they were saying that Sandy got replaced not because of a gameplay issue, but more of a structural issue. So I was like, well, those guys are really close to being a pretty solid team. So I think with Geo, a player who's going to like give them the structure that they're looking for, I was like, well, if it was a structural thing, then this team's probably going to be a lot better. Um, yeah, and that's what ended up coming to fruition in this LA Gorilla series. We'll see in their next matchup against a solid team. But Vegas Legion, they have a lot to look forward to. Their respawn looked very good. They were getting kills for sure. Geo looked great on the map. Purge looks a lot more confident. And Nero and Attach, they look great as well. So all signs point to Vegas getting a lot better and becoming a top 8 contender. Um, Speaking of top 8 contenders, excuse me, in our next series, we had the Minnesota Rokkr taking on Toronto Ultra, the Battle of the North. You guys know I thought it would be a 3-0, just given how Toronto looked on Friday. I thought 3-1 initially before we went into the matches, but then they 3-0'd Heretics, who are a top 4 seed currently in the CDL. And I changed my mind a little bit. But then the Rokkr, they looked really good. They lost the first 2 maps. They rebounded in maps 3 and 4. And then Ultra closed them out game 5-6-1. So if you're the Ultra, just remember not to give these really solid teams who are in the middle of the pack but are breaking out a chance to break out, because if they beat you, the momentum's on their side. And we've learned in Call of Duty that confidence and momentum go a long way in producing upsets on the tail end. So, looking at our last matchup of the weekend, we had Optic Texas really making a statement in their only series of the weekend, coming out hot against the new look LA Thieves, who looks pretty decent, I have to admit. Apart from Kremp and Nasty just having like kind of adjustment issues that you could really attribute to them just being slotted in the last couple of weeks and going against an Optic Texas team that's been playing together since season start. I feel like this Thieves team, they have the foundation with that current personnel to improve. So, and when I liked some of the things I saw from them in S&D and in Respawn as well, it was just they're playing Optic and Optic didn't troll in the vetoes. So when you square up against Optic Texas, good luck. Those guys have a lot of gun skill. They have a lot of obviously talent, and they have a lot of smarts. Their coaching is great. Shout out to JP and of course Karma, 3 rings to go. Yeah, so Optic looked good. Thieves didn't look that bad in my opinion. So pretty decent for them. And the big winner of the weekend, if I had to give it to anybody, I would say the Toronto Ultra, just because they played 2 teams that are top 4 either at the major or in the standings. They played Heretics, who are top 4 in the standings currently, and then they played Rokkr, who got top 4 at the major, and they came out of both series with a victory. Other honorable mention is New York Subliners. Of course, their difficulty of schedule this weekend left a lot to be desired. They played the Seattle Surge and the Royal Ravens, but they did beat the Ravens, who are a team on the come up who made serious strides. And they were coming off of a disappointing 12th place finish, so there were no guarantees. So they needed that rebound. They're 2-0 from this past weekend going to the next weekend. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next video. I'll be back with Dempsey. We'll be going over our predictions for this upcoming week. That, of course, being the matches of the 23rd through the 25th. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave me some feedback down below if you liked the new format. Oh, and I got a haircut, so yeah. Yeah, catch you guys in the next video. Hope you have a great morning, noon, or night, wherever you may be on this beautiful planet. And I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay coming back. It's been a long time, like I said before, and I'm happy to bring some gameplay back. I have like hundreds of gigs of like unposted gameplays, so there's more to come. See you guys on the next one. Peace.